you can see, well, love is a beautiful thing. Oh yes, we are praying with you and for you. Please join this table here, this sitting here. Okay, well now I'm actually enjoying seeing that. It poses a lot of questions. Like I would love to know really how you were able actually to keep maybe yourselves pure, or what are some of the things did you do during the courtship period? Because really some people are struggling during that time. So tips to someone watching on what they can actually do, or how they can spend that period, the waiting time until they get wedded.
Um, I think one of the things, thank you so much, Claire, for that question. I think one of the things that really kept us up there was the standard that we were building together and with our relationship. And so the standard, like, if we say no sex, there's no sex at all. If we say no cohabiting, there's no cohabiting at all. And so if we say no making up, there's no making up at all. And so our standard was the standard of Christ. I love this. I love this. The statement "sold out for Christ." So some of the things that we did were we used to take care and accountable to each one other. We were accountable to each other. If we saw one falling short, we would actually tap on the other and say, "No, we're not supposed to do this." And it looks like it's hard and difficult, but if you are willing to stand by the standard of Christ, you will not compromise at any point, anywhere. And so we did one thing of not actually being close to one another late in the night. Dark at night, late in the night, we knew, go home. Go back to your home, go back to your hostel, and be safe, so that we do not tempt ourselves in any way possible, or doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. And so we kept ourselves pure, we kept ourselves accountable, and we kept ourselves in line. What do I mean by in line? Whenever we saw the other falling short of the standard that we had put up together, the other person would actually try as much as possible to do what? To help him or her get out of that place. And so that's one of the things that really kept us going on and on all day until we got married.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Maybe she can add, my delight can add just a few more.
Okay, I like that.
It's just like my treasure. Yeah, I think it's important to really set boundaries, and those were the boundaries that he was talking about. As not being together until a certain time of the day, being accountable, like he has shared, and also having people that we were accountable to, being accountable to each other, and also having people that were accountable to, people that were ready to walk the journey with us, who had been there before, and who are also in the same kind of situation as well. They were also dating and sharing with one another. When you're in a community of people and you're getting to hear that a certain group of people is going through something similar to what you're going through, and they're telling you how they overcame, or maybe if they didn't overcome, they'll tell you it's important that you do, because these would be the consequences, something like that. Having people that were really, really accountable to in that time was also one of the things that helped us stand and follow through as per the standard that we had set, and were very strict about it. And honestly, I can only say that it was by the grace of God. We cannot take any credit for anything. We know that sometimes the flesh can want to go against the spirit in so many ways, but we thank God for his grace. The one that would remind us that you're supposed to be an example to a generation that is coming, and those are things that would awaken you and tell you, friends, I want to be that good example to my siblings. I want to be that example to the friends that I'm working with. I want to be a good example, and those are some of the things that would keep us standing.
Wow, that's really, really a good foundation that you guys are standing at. But now, I would want us to go really, really fast to your wedding. just briefly give us really maybe a highlight about your wedding. How did you come to your wedding? How did you choose the date? How did you come up with your best man? How did you come up with your, just give us a feel of, the wedding day, the reception. Yeah. We just want to be there. I see you're so excited about what happened. Yeah.
I will give her the opportunity in this one because I know
Okay.
she'll bring it out the best.
Okay. So that date, God, we took time to pray. As I told you, we were really in a time. Even when we had friends who would make fun of us that if we're to on our wedding day, people will fast because because we're always praying, fasting. When we tell you we need to pray, we need to fast. That was our language. So he took time to pray about the date and the year, because I can assure you that God is a very faithful God. He's capable of giving you giving you detail of what you want. If he gave Moses detail of the ark, he gave Noah the detail of also the ark, the one that the animals. He's capable of giving details. So Morgan took time and prayed and asked God, okay, God, if this is the direction, I have waited on you for this time. So what's the plan? And the Lord gave him a date. So it's like he was and a year, And so he shared it with me, and we said, okay, let's continue praying about it. And the more we prayed, the more the Lord confirmed it, the more the Lord just showed us that, yeah, indeed, this would be the best time. And when that time came, because we first thought that it was going to be in 2021, but then the more we prayed about it, the Lord really showed us that the best time would be in 2022. And that is when we decided that the date would be 23rd July 2022. But when the year came and we were ready, we even went to tell our parents and everything, and all, it turned out that our parents preferred that we have it in October, because during that time I was studying my master's. So that's when the decision was made that we have it instead in October. And that's when, wedding date was set.
October. Actually, our wedding date was set in just 5 minutes.
Hey.
Yes, I was with 3 people. We stood together. We agreed on the dates
The Kuchala.
at the Kuchala, and so we agreed that to be October 9th. That would be our wedding date, and so we were blessed by it. So, and everything just kept on running on and on in line. Yes, in line with how it was supposed to be. And so we started planning for the dates. We had a visit to their place. They had a visit to my place. We had to visit our parents' places, but were not able to because of time. And October came. So when October came,
and introduction happened. And during the time of preparation, one of the things that helped us a lot was that we decided that we'd plan early. We made sure that we'd plan very, very early for every function. So we started planning as early as March. Yes, we had the Kuchala in January. One of the reasons why I tell you 24th December is very significant is because on 24th of December 2021 he proposed. Was when he proposed.
Wow.
Yes, remember in 2019, 24th December is when he asked commitment. Are you ready to commit? So he proposed the next after year. And then in January of 2022 is when he met with my parents at the Kuchala. And then that's when the dates were set. And so we started preparing as early as March, where we're talking about different things, praying about the best man and the matron. And for me, God, the more I prayed, the more the Lord began to show me the person who would be. And so, he gave me I had these different options, sometimes you sit there and you're like, okay, I think this one would be the best, but also this one is there, but then there's also this one. So I just took time and prayed and tried to make phone calls. I first called my sister, and during that time it wasn't possible, so she said she couldn't be my matron, but she said that she was going to support me as much as she could, which she did. And then I went to the next option, and it was confirmed that she was the one, and she was willing to be there for us. And she was a very close friend of mine who had walked out with us in our journey during dating. She's one of those people who would really intentionally ask important questions. How are you doing? And she was among the accountability partners. You know, when she says, how are you doing? What's going on? What are the things that you're facing right now? And then you tell her, she has a way of advising you in how to deal with certain things. So for me, I sort of had an idea that this would be the kind of person that I would want for my as a matron. Yeah, so she was on the list. So when it wasn't possible with my sister because of circumstances here and there, she was the one who was next on the list, and she was my matron, and that's how she stood with me throughout, guided me on how to choose things, where we went, what to do, and that's how I chose my matron. Maybe how you chose your best man.
How I chose my best man. My best man was a friend of mine since primary.
Wow.
I had been his friend since primary, since secondary school. We did ministry together. We stood together. We have a brotherhood. We had something called the brotherhood, where it's about men coming together as brothers. One of our main objectives there was to serve one another. We love one another. We bear each other's burdens, and we walk with one another. And so, as brothers, one of my brothers was one of them who I chose as my best man, who I had seen, who I had walked with, who had stood with me through thick and through thin, who knows me in and out. And so I chose him as my best man, and when I asked him, he agreed with it, and he gave a tick for it. So I thank God for that, because when I prayed over it, and God just confirmed it by him agreeing to actually be my best man. So I thank God. Everything that happened was through Christ. And just as he said about the wedding, everything was through Christ. Everything that happened, every step, every decision that was made was through Christ. We saw the hand of God from the beginning, from day one to where it ended. And we saw that there was no issues with the budget. There was, we thank God that he brought people who were committed to work with, and the committee who helped us put everything together and make the day a wonderful and colorful day. And we don't take that for granted, because it was the hand of God that pinpointed each and every one that was brought for the wedding.
Amen.
Wow. Our families,
Wow. Amen. Now, I would really want, especially now, Bertha, let me start with you. This usually affects the ladies. Yeah, often we hear ladies really tend to be under pressure when they go 30 and above, sorry to say. With God when. What's your advice to really such a kind of a lady who's watching actually? Maybe the family is putting them on pressure. Maybe the friends, the neighborhood is really, really putting them on pressure. When are you getting married? Some have even stopped going to villages because of that same question. And then, Morgan, you will answer for the guys. Advice, really.
Okay, thank you for that question. It's a very, it's a very important question, really. I'm always sharing with friends of mine who have asked such questions that, the pressure around us can be dealt with first by dealing with the pressure by ourselves. Before I start to deal with the pressure that is around me, the pounding, people saying when, why, what is happening, is everything okay and everything, you first deal with it yourself. When you sit with yourself and say, I'm not putting myself on pressure, I know my time will come. If for you as a person, you have prayed about it, you are comfortable in your heart that, God is going to bring a person at the time that he has set for me, and you yourself as a person, your inner peace is there, then you shut that, then that's the point where you shut out all the outside voices, because it's the outside voices that start to jump into your place of peace that you have created. But if in your place of peace you're comfortable and you're waiting as a person, then the rest of the voices around you will be able to deal with them by saying, my time will come. No, I know that time will come. No, there's a way you can deal with it. I personally went through that time because I got married closer to my 30s. Yeah, and for me, I was thankfully my parents didn't really put me on pressure in that line. But you go around, your friends would make some jokes. Wait, until next year, it is you, and then you're saying, okay, next year, but who is there? There is nobody, and it's clear and it's evident. And for me personally, I did not believe, okay, as a person, I did not think that I was going to meet someone now and next year I'm getting married. That was not me. I knew I was going to have time to get to know a person as a friend before that was for me. Yeah, so the more I dealt with it myself and accepted that I know my time will come, but for now, I'm going to do what the Lord has shown me I need to be doing and chasing after. The rest will come later. And that's what gave me peace with myself. And so since I had made peace with myself, no other voice would come to, disorganize me in any way by telling me or putting me on pressure in any way. Yeah, for me, that's the advice I can give in that line.
Amen. Wow.
And you also did put you on pressure?
Not at all.
Oh.
I was at
Anyway.
peace.
I love that. Yeah.
Indeed. Me, the advice I would give to the men is just one: timing. And Bertha spoke about it. Timing and season. Understand your timing, understand your season. You may not be in the time or in the season of getting married, or you're not yet ready to live with another person or going into marriage with another person. And so if you're not ready to commit to all that is happening around in marriage, then you're not yet ready for it. Your time has not yet come. So when you understand your timing, your season that you are in, you need to know there's a season of singleness. And the Bible clearly speaks about it, that you need to enjoy your single life. You need to enjoy your singleness so that when you get into marriage, you will not regret about your singleness, that you didn't do this when you were single. No. So my encouragement to the men is that know your timing and know your season. Ecclesiastes clearly tells us there's a season for everything and there's a time for everything. There's a time to pray, there's a time to keep quiet, there's a time to marry, there's a time to live. And so you need to understand that everything has a season and a timing. And for you to grasp upon your season and your timing helps you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. A good example is the journey me and Bertha went through. We knew we had a season of understanding what commitment is, as you explained it. We understood what commitment is, and we went into a season where we understood fears. We went through fears. We discussed and communicated about different fears in our journey. And what we did was to put faith over fears, to put faith over feelings. We went through a journey of faith over feelings, where we came and shared our feelings, how we feel, our expectations, but we put faith over all of them. Then we went through a journey of prayer, where God led us in a different journey of prayer, where we were seeking the face of God, and it was separately. We didn't actually understand what we're doing at that moment, but whenever we would speak, we would realize we are in a season of prayer, and God would be directing her differently, because the Bible clearly says men and women are different. Oh, the Bible doesn't say that. But yeah, but actually that men and women are actually different. And so God starts to teach us in different ways. And so in my journey, God was leading me in a direction of a season of prayer and teaching me more and more. And with Bertha, he was leading her in a different journey of prayer and teaching her the way she would understand, because it's different characters. Men and women have different characters, and so God uses different activities that can reveal to us what he's trying to show us in that season. And so we went to the season of prayer. I then after went to the season of love, where God started teaching me about love, me as a person. What is love? I remember one of the things I always laugh about it with her is she texted me one time and said, I'm thinking about you. I've been thinking about you the whole day.
Wow.
And I stand for a moment and I want to say, I'm thinking about you too. And I'm not thinking about her at that moment. And so I'm at a place of, okay, if I text this, I'll be lying.
Oh.
So I had to think through it. And so God took me through a journey as a man of, do I really love
So
this
how did
person?
you respond to that?
I kept quiet. I started the conversation the next day with how are you? Yeah.
But I wish we had more time. You would share how you felt about it. Like,
No, we don't want to go there.
I know. Well, our time is really spent. Give us your final remark and we close.
All right. Final remark. We just really want to thank God for that journey that the Lord gave us to this point. I bless the Lord for the chance to learn from different people that were willing to walk with us down the journey and to inform us that purpose is very important. You know, before you get into all this, have you known your purpose? Do you know what God is calling you to do? Do you know, before you begin to compliment someone else, do you know how you're going to compliment them? If you do not know yourself, then you know, it's like you're going to just live someone else's life, you know. So I really encourage in that manner that in this journey of getting into a relationship and getting into marriage, that get to know your purpose. Do that for yourself first as an individual before you get into that time, especially if you're still at that level of, I don't know, am I sure everyone else is in a relationship and I'm not, I'm single, why should, you know? No, I encourage that, you know, you search yourself deeply and get to know yourself first. Recognize who you are first before you get into a relationship where now at that point you'd want to know someone else. Yeah, so I think maybe.
Yeah. Okay, just in a short period of time.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Number one, enjoy your singleness. Enjoy your singleness, and then when time is right, get into a relationship. When the time is ready for you to give your all, just like the Bible says, love. What love is, that He will lay down His life for us. When you are ready to lay down your life for someone else, when you are ready to stand on the gap for someone else, then you get into a relationship and love that person. As men, we love. We choose to love. Or when we decide to love, we love as whole. There is no half love. There is no middle love. Love it fully and abundant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, God bless you, Morgan and Bertha. It's been really a good time having you. God bless you and God bless your marriage. Dear viewer, thank you for loving us and thank you for loving Church of Uganda Family TV. Thank you for loving How We Met Show. See you again next Sunday, same time, same place, but different people. I love you. Bye.